Hello, this is Jess, and this is chat session number 25, November 25th, 2017. Going to go right into our tidbits of history. The first one, 1952. The Mousetrap, a murder mystery movie written by the novelist and playwright Agatha Christie, opens at the Ambassador Theatre in London. The crowd-pleasing whodunit would go on to become the longest continuously running play in history, with more than 10 million people to date attending its more than 20,000 performances in London's West End. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that or not. Sounds interesting. I'll have to look into it. I'm sure they got some recordings of something where I could see it later. So that was interesting, though. 10 million people attending something. That's a pretty big feat for a writer of a play. So that's that part of history, the performing arts history session there. And then we're going to go on to 1990. After a howling wind and rainstorm on Thanksgiving Day, Washington State's historic floating Lacy V. Morrow Bridge breaks apart and sinks to the bottom of Lake Washington between Seattle and its suburbs to the east. Because the bridge's disintegration happened relatively slowly, news crews were able to capture the whole thing on camera, broadcasting it to a rapt audience across western Washington. No one was injured, and the bridge lasted from 1939 when construction was started, and it sank in 1990 on this date. The construction crew, apparently they were getting ready to make it 2 lanes, go 2 directions, and they were in the process of closing one side down. Oh, excuse me. They were in the process of closing one side down, and apparently they left something open, or they did something. They found they were in court. They took them to court, the state did, and they determined that they left hatches open on the bridge. It was a floating bridge, none like no other kind, because they couldn't use a regular bridge with beams because this bottom was too deep and too soft. And apparently water got inside these pontoons that it was floating on and just sank one, and then it just started pulling each piece down until the whole bridge was gone. So that's interesting. Stay off them floating bridges during rainstorms is a good suggestion at this point. But that's our two historical tidbits today on November 25th. And now I'd like to take a minute to say that I'll be going for some kind of CT scan on Monday, today being Saturday night. It's late, it's about 11:40, trying to get this in before midnight. I've just been laying around most of the day today. But I'll be going for a CT scan on Monday in the morning. And they're going to shoot my knee up with some, he said, radioisotopes, I believe, to check my lymph glands to make sure that there's nothing spread. And I don't even know what that requires, what kind of shot it is. I have no idea, but I'm not looking forward to that. If you know me, I guess you'd know that I'm not a fan of getting poked by things, like by needles and stuff. I'm just not a fan of that. And I usually make the staff that's doing the work nervous, but I'll try to go in there and just be calm and let them do it, but no guarantees. And then from that, I will be put to sleep to have the incision enlarged around the area where they discovered the melanoma. And then from there we'll find out if I need to have any further treatments. I guess they're going to be putting dye inside me in the CT scan to look at all my organs to see if everything's clear, which I hope so. I don't want to continue to keep doing this, but whatever has to happen, I guess I'll go through with it. unfortunately. But anyway, that's that part about me. Now we'll move on to other stuff. I got 1 out of 3 on Thursday's professional football matchups on Thursday. And the only team I got was the first one, the Vikings. And against the Lions, the Vikings won. And then the Cowboys and I don't even remember who they were playing, but they got beat. The Cowboys lost. And then the last game was the Giants and the Redskins, and the Redskins won, and I picked the Giants. So, not coming very good out of the break on the football for this week. I'm hoping tomorrow will bring much more success on my picks. Just when you think you're getting halfway decent at something, especially these picks, the way these teams just disrupt everything, and that's just the way that goes. All right, well, here we are again. Now we're going to get a little bit on the political side. I probably have mentioned this already in my chat sessions prior, but there sure needs to be a very hard and close look at this private prison stuff that they're talking about, letting private companies run our prison system. It's happening in the South. Maybe Alabama, Mississippi, possibly Florida, Louisiana, all those southern states in the Gulf. And I wouldn't be surprised if Texas isn't either involved in this, but it has to be a sorry day in our government's time to consider letting private individuals, private companies run incarceration of other people. Yeah, there has to be somewhere to put them. People that commit, the serious crimes, murder and rape and all the different, those kind of severity of crimes. Yeah, those people need to be put away. But I don't think that they should be put away into a private prison. First of all, if you run a private prison, you have to make money. Well, the prisoners aren't going to pay for anything, right? They don't have any money. So I guess the way it works is they put people to work. They put them on work crews, and they go out and perform jobs, and then they get a pittance and maybe nothing. Maybe just for being in there, they have to go and work. And I don't have a problem with that to a point, but that right there is a red flag. I think if you get a group of people that have committed crimes and they're in there for life, or they're in there for a very long time, you put them out on a crew somewhere, and you watch how many prison breaks there's going to try to be. That's the first dilemma. People are going to be able to escape when they get into these work crews to go and work outside of the prison walls. I mean, that's just my first concern. The second concern is the kind of work that people may be asked to do may not be in their skill levels, and you're going to have a lot of accidents, a lot of maybe even deaths from being asked to perform jobs that are dangerous. And again, to a point, some of those people might even deserve it. But that's not for me to make that call. And then the third thing is the abuse of services provided, within a private system, like healthcare, quality food, quality drinking water, those kind of things, in order to make a profit. You know, greed is a dangerous thing, and I think that in order to make a profit, you're going to cut, you know, corners on things that are essential for life, include, like I said, food and water, and then also shelter, somewhere to sleep, that kind of stuff. Now, again, some of those people probably don't deserve any of that. They might have killed somebody, done some stuff that's really horrible. But if we're going to incarcerate it, we have to have at least some kind of standard. I'm not saying make it like the hotel or nothing, but I think it needs to be humane. All right, well, that's my little political point. I think that we as a nation need to look at that very closely. I think it could be a disaster. I don't think any private company should be allowed to put the lives of those individuals on their little sheets, you know, because like I said, greed's a dangerous thing, and it can cause people to make up stories and to try to cut corners in order to make a profit at the expense of someone's life. And so I'm down with that, down with these private prisons. All right, well, got to get going now. We're 11 and a half minutes in, so we're going to end this chat session number 25. And again, for those who wondering why there's no music or that kind of stuff, I've gotten plenty of copyright infringement notices, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to pursue the licensing or the permissions required to play the music. So unfortunately, it'll just be me talking. I know that may get mundane or boring at times, but it's going to stay with it. Okay, we're going to end this video now. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? It's Saturday night. Tomorrow's Sunday football time. Go Seattle. Have a great Saturday night, early Sunday. Bye.